Yes, yes. Welcome to a special Thanksgiving edition of the Spreads of the Week, Week 13. We're heading in, myself picking up 44%, and Mike across from me here picking up 46% of the year, on the year, sorry. So we're getting a little better, getting those averages up slightly there, Mike.
Yeah, 46, a gentleman's 46%. You actually outdid me nine correct picks to seven last week. So you're don't call it a comeback. You're charging up the leaderboard there, Tom. So I need to get
Mm,
my act
yeah.
together over Thanksgiving.
Yeah, San Diego charging up there, and who knows, we might get 50%. We'll see.
LA charging, surely.
LAJ, I know, yeah. I
It's
still
not the
still haven't
same,
looked
is
at
it?
that
It's
one.
not it's
No,
not
it's
the
not.
same. Right. So ooh, that was Monday night from last week. We don't need to see that. Although the Niners did fairly comfortably handle the Panthers, we both picked that incorrectly. So that
Yeah,
was
the
fun.
missed field goal doing us there, unfortunately.
That
Uh,
was, that was
yeah,
fun for us.
yeah,
It
yeah,
was actually quite close to go. I think on another day we would have covered that. That was a little bit unlucky.
yeah, it was. Yeah. All right, here we go. The standard 12:30 game has been moved to 1 p.m. I don't know why, but maybe because the lines are good now. Who knows?
Yeah, potentially. Shall I pick this one first? Because I think you picked the
Yeah, yeah,
Chiefs
I picked
first. Yeah,
last.
Chiefs were the first up on last week. Though these podcasts are so close together, I can remember what happened.
Hmm.
Um, so Lions 2.5 point home favorites. That is interesting. Um, God, I mean they really struggled against the Giants last week, which was a nice cover for me there actually. So yeah, I don't know. Based on that, tempted to take the Packers, but then it would also be very NFC East for the Packers to drop, NFC North, sorry, for the Packers to drop this game on the road.
Yeah.
Um,
Hmm.
oh, fuck it. I'm just gonna take the Lions here to win by a field goal. Don't feel good about it, but don't really have a strong feeling either way. So yeah, I'll take the Lions.
Yeah. Yeah, the Lions have let us down the last few weeks. Thought they were going to really blow out the Giants. Well, actually, let me down. You did pick the Giants on that spread. I thought they were going to be a bit more ruthless. I'm going to take the Lions here. If this fails, I'll get off the bandwagon. But it's a field goal win. It's a comfy win. So if they kick a last minute, the Packers won't cover. So I'm just going to go with the Lions to get a home win here in a divisional game. This will be a tough place for the Packers to come and play. And like you said, I do fancy them to drop the odd game down the stretch here. The Packers. Neither of these teams is perfect.
No, certainly not. No, Packers offense looking quite flawed.
Mm,
Eagles weren't really pushed by that offense at all a couple of weeks ago when we played them, and yeah, so we've got to be worrying signs there for the Packers.
yeah.
Um, okay, well, that worked out nicely. Obviously, that you're going to pick first here. Chiefs at Cowboys. Cowboys stunning the Eagles with a 21-point comeback last week, much to my dismay.
Yeah.
How do you see
Goodness.
this one coming?
Uh, Yeah, well, that's another spread we pretty much had in the bag there, taking the Eagles, and then there's a freak comeback. Yeah, this is interesting because the Cowboys' passing attack looks very good, and I do worry about some of the other guys that aren't Trent McDuffie and the Chiefs secondary holding up against it. I think they've just got a bit too much, the Cowboys, to keep it close enough. I'm going to take the 3.5. Similar logic to the first game is that if they lose by the field goal here, they'll actually cover. So I feel pretty good about that line and the number. And yeah, I just think the Chiefs really sleptwalked through about three quarters, but finally got it going last week. Really, you could say the Colts should have won that game. So it's still not all hunky dory there in Kansas City, and yeah, this is going to be a close game, I'd imagine. It's not going to be a blowout either way, but I'm going to take the field goal cover in that instance.
Yeah, no, not too much more to add to that. I agree. I'm also going to take the Cowboys here. I think it'll be a very close game either way. If it's a one or two, if it's a field goal win in either direction, we've done our job there. Which I'm quite happy to take the points on this one.
Yeah, nice.
Um,
And then the final Thanksgiving game, we're going to the AFC North,
Yeah,
which is a funny one.
a returning Joe Burrow as a 7 point dog on the road.
Is he going to play for sure?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
Mm.
I'll see. I believe so. Oof, Joe Burrow. Yeah, yeah, I think he
Mm.
did. Yeah, he
Right.
did say he's going to. So, yeah, NFL fans should be thankful for Joe Burrow's Thanksgiving Day return. Okay, well, based on that, I'm going to take the Bungles. He might be rusty, but I've not really been, even with Lamar at the helm this season, I haven't been overly impressed with the Ravens. I don't see
Mm.
them blowing out the Bengals in this one on Thanksgiving on national television. I think it just might be a bit closer than that. I could be wrong, but yeah, that's why I'm going to go for the Bengals here.
Yeah, the Bengals gave them some problems last time they played earlier on this. I think it was another primetime game earlier this year. So I do like the Bengals here. They showed a lot of fight against a good Patriots team last week, and they're still technically not out of this thing the way the AFC North's going at the moment. So I think, yeah, maybe a rogue Bengals win on the road here to throw things upside down a bit in that division. That'd be a fun one.
Yeah, no, that'd be really fun. That would actually keep that division alive because Steelers are kind of wobbling as well. So
Yeah,
you
yeah.
you know going 9-8 this season could be enough in the AFC North. So yeah, the Bengals if they win out there, they'd still got a chance. Obviously, that's very long odds, but they're definitely still in it technically.
Well, it's the time of year they start playing football, Cincinnati. So we'll see.
Yeah, yeah, agreed. All right.
Ooh.
Well, the Bears are on the road at the Birds, at my beloved Philadelphia Eagles. Not so beloved after last week. I have to say, I was quite dismayed by that performance. Jesus. Um,
Hmm. Odd line as well for me, this one.
yeah, yeah, it is odd. Um, did you want me to pick it first?
Oh yeah, yeah. How about it?
Oh, okay. Um, well, I feel quite. I watch the Eagles every week, obviously, and I actually watch the Bears all 22 every week. It's kind of tradition on JT O'Sullivan's QB school to do the Bears every week because he's kind of fascinated with Caleb Williams. So I've seen a lot of the Bears offense this year, and they actually don't. Williams has put up some decent stats, and they've got a good overall team offensive statistic, but they do make some boneheaded plays, and there were some interceptions to be made there for the Steelers last week. They just have obviously the Steelers are just not very good in the secondary at all.
Mm.
So I think if he plays like that against the Eagles front should cause that offensive line massive issues as well. So I do, and I think the Eagles will be really up for this at home, coming off that pretty embarrassing comeback win for the Cowboys. So I think the Eagles will win the game. However, I don't think it will be by a touchdown. So I'm going to take the Bears to cover here in a closer game than clearly the bookmakers think. But I think the Eagles will win.
Yeah, yeah. It's been a tough one. I mean, the Eagles have been covering most spreads. They've been favorites in. I'm just looking back the last few weeks here.
Not
I mean,
last
they
week.
no, not last week. No, they covered against the Lions before, Packers before that. They were kind of beat up the NFC North, really. But yeah, there's another NFC North opponent comes in. I think the Bears have a bit more chutzpah about them, as I would say over here. I think I agree with you. They're going to keep it close. And just interested to keep an eye on what's going on there in Philly. I know you mentioned to me there was some reports coming out last week about a bit of discomfort there in the organization. So it'd be interesting to see just kind of how they address that and how they go forward from here after that shocking loss.
Yeah, no, I think we'll be in the same boat we were a couple of years ago, where Sirianni appoints one of his buddies to be the offensive coordinator, and they only last a year.
Mm.
I think, unfortunately, because it's been pretty bad on offense. It's been outstanding on defense and pretty poor on offense so far. Well, Jet Hurts has played reasonably well, but yeah, structurally, it's not the offense you ideally wanted for a Super Bowl run. All right, well, that should be quite a good game. Eagles Bears. I mean, this is a stinker. Falcons at Jets. The Jets are a very narrow favorite here. How do you see this? Sorry, narrow underdog. But well, I don't know. Over to you, Tom.
Yeah, this Falcons team is really weird. They'll occasionally just turn up and play, and in other weeks they just don't seem interested. But I can say the same thing for the Jets as well. Um, I was impressed with the Falcons defense last week. I know they're playing the Saints, but the Jets are a similar caliber offense to the Saints. So I'm going to take the Falcons, just smother this in like a 20 to 11 ball game or something random like that, and a comfy cover for them.
Yeah, I thought Kirk Cousins looked a bit more authoritative on his second start of the season. His first start didn't go very well, but he looked a bit better last week, and I think he looks like an upgrade on Penix at the moment. So that should be enough to get the Falcons quite comfortably past what is at this point a really miserable Jets team. Traded away all their best players. Don't have a quarterback. You couldn't back them to cover this. If they do, you just tip your hat and move on. But you couldn't
Yeah,
back.
no, I agree. Yeah, unbackable.
Yeah, terrible team, worst team in the NFL for me at the moment. The Jets.
But the
Although,
Raiders might have something to say about that.
yeah, that's true. Yeah, Raiders and Jets. That'd be a awful game. Um, well, and two other terrible teams here:
Oh,
Saints at Dolphins. Um, God, I don't know how I feel about this. I mean, the Dolphins are a 5.5 point favorite, but do the Dolphins blow out the Saints? No, not for me. No, I think I don't think the Saints are a very good football team. Shook isn't playing that well. He seems to be not getting too much heat at the moment for his level of play. But
yeah.
I'd be surprised if we don't see Spencer Rattler again this season. So, however, I still purely based on just the fact that yeah, I Tua's making too many mistakes, and the Dolphins just haven't been good enough on either side of the football. They've traded away some pieces at the deadline as well to get better position in the upcoming draft. So they've only depleted really with the Tyreek Hill injury as well from the start of the season. So I'm just going to say the Saints keep this close.
I'm going to differ here. I think the Dolphins are actually on the ascendancy. It's not something I thought would happen. They're still playing. They're still competing for McDaniel there. And yeah, I don't know. I think the last few weeks they've showed me something that I didn't quite expect. So I like the fight. What I saw from New Orleans last week against the Falcons, like I said before, was pretty shocking. I just think Miami are just a much better roster. You said a number of times New Orleans are actually headed for their first rebuild in about 20 years. I don't think the Dolphins are that bad. They're not in that same boat. So based on that, I'll take the Dolphins and make a nice spicy differ for us here.
Spicy, spicy on South Beach, very nice. Um, yeah, you got into some of that Cubano food there, Tom. My word.
Yeah, it's like
Uh,
a good Instagram hashtag for me there. Hashtag spicy on South Beach.
uh, Tejanos at Colts.
Oh, goodness. Yeah, well, the Colts blew that against the Chiefs, didn't they, last week?
Yeah,
Some questions about their big game mentality. And this is the AFC South. The AFC South has kind of regressed to the norm of what it is, which is that road favorites come in and often win the games, at least cover. So I'm going to take the Texans here to win. Their defense looked very fierce, shutting down the Bills, and this is a divisional opponent who they know much better than the Bills. So I do fancy them to shut this down, maybe get a win here. Just yeah, not too impressed by the Colts because Jones is going to have to pass it to win this game. So that doesn't fill me with a lot of confidence here. They're going to have to open up at some point in the Colts, and it could come back to hurt them then.
yeah. I'm not very many differs this week. I'm going to agree. I think the Texans keep this closer than 4.5. That pass rush really impressed me against the Bills. And yeah, they haven't been playing too badly on offense without Stroud in the lineup. It's not obviously Davis Mills is no CJ Stroud, but
Mm,
they've been functional. He looks like a decent NFL backup. So when you have a defense playing as well as they're playing, quite clearly the best in the league at the moment, the Texans, you've always got a chance. And as you say, the deficiency of the Colts is their drop back passing game, which I think they will get forced into in this one.
yeah.
So yeah, I think the Colts may well sneak it as a win, but I don't think they'll win by more than 4.5 points.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Thought it might be
Okay.
close on that line.
So Rams at Panthers. Well, my goodness, you did say last week. I think we ended up both taking the Panthers, but you did say they blow hot and cold, and you never know who's going to show up. And yeah, that was correct in San Francisco. They were pretty terrible on offense, brilliant on defense, but
Yeah.
not so hot on offense. I mean, goodness me, obviously it's a gargantuan line at 10.5. Um, I mean, the Rams just had a big blowout win. Do they do two of those back to back against a 6-6 conference rival? Not rival, but you know what I mean.
Mm.
Oh, this is a horrible line. Obviously, I'd push this out a little bit and take the Panthers if I was actually putting money on it, but I think I'm still going to take the Panthers. They're not a terrible football team. They're well, as their record suggests, they're just okay.
Yeah.
Um, and I think it's unfortunate they've had to play Niners and Rams back to back weeks. That's quite a gauntlet for them. But I just have a feeling this might be a bit closer than that. Rams still win, obviously, but a bit closer than that. So yeah, I'm going to take the Panthers here.
I want to differ and take the Rams here. They really have shown a propensity to blow teams out, leading the against the spread this year. The Rams are with an 8-3 record against the spread,
Oh,
and
oh God, I didn't know
effectively
that.
those are going to be his favorites. And the Panthers have really had their best performance in their divisional games. That's what worries me about them. And I actually went back and thought about it. You talk about Bryce Young's record day, cleaning up the Falcons, shutting them out. Those are all divisional games. So. Yeah, I can't trust him anymore. I'm going to take the Rams here for a big win.
Yeah, I'm already regretting that call, but yeah, we'll see how it pans out. Yeah, that may not age very well, that one.
Well, yeah, I think that Panthers missed field goal blowing my parlay the other night has fully turned me against them as well. That was the final straw for me there.
Final straw. They betrayed you. Uh, um, well, speaking of the Niners, oh, that was serendipitous. They're heading out your way, Tom, into the. Is it going to be chilly on Sunday? I assume it is.
Into the abyss. Yeah, it's going to be rainy all week, and some 50-mile wind gusts are scheduled for the next few days. I think they might have died down by then, but I just fancy the Niners really don't like coming to Cleveland. The Browns always seem to do them here. And it's bizarre because this game I think has been played about 3 times in the last 4 years, which is really weird. But
That
they
is odd.
the Browns have beaten the Niners every time. I think Jim Schwartz's defense just matches up quite well with Shanahan's offense and primarily a lot of man coverage. Seems to be the way they've done it in the past. So I'm gonna take the Browns. I just don't think the Niners want to come to Cleveland, to be honest. Good performance the other night to handle the Panthers, but yeah, Purdy did not look good. Question whether he was fully healthy. And yeah, I think the Browns defense is gonna definitely do enough to keep this one close.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Browns as well. I was very critical of Shador Sanders after his first bit of starting action, but he actually played pretty well last week, which gives me a bit more confidence in him. And I think hopefully a bit more confidence in the Browns coaching staff because watching the all 22 of that game, it was a very basic game plan they executed against the Raiders. They'll need a bit more than that to beat the 49ers or keep this close. So hopefully they do that. Yeah, the 49ers, like I said a bit earlier about the Colts, their weakness is their drop back passing game. It's where
Mm.
Purdy makes his mistakes normally. And it's never been outside of Big Trent at left tackle. It's never been a great offensive line in San Francisco. They get away with it with their zone running scheme and play action game. So having to drop back, they obviously will move Garrett over to play some left end. You'd think for the majority of this game, and I don't think the Niners don't have anybody. Let's be clear that can block him one on one. So um, yeah, I think the Niners will keep this really close. If it's blowing a gale as well, that suits the Browns. They can get stuck into their ground game, keep it close, play defense, punt it a lot. Yeah, and the Niners may win, but I think it could be close. I agree with you. Actually, I kind of fancy the Browns to sneak this one. Um,
Yeah, is the sort of game they win.
I
Um,
don't think the Niners pass rush looks completely anemic as well. So
yeah, yeah.
Sanders could have quite a long time to stand back there, which obviously would suit a rookie quarterback. So yeah, I agree. Styles make fights, and I think the Browns have a
Hmm.
good style to face the Niners.
Yeah, well, yeah, history certainly showed that last few years. Um, they did us well the other day, Browns covering as Vegas as well. Keep riding them for a bit.
Oh, the Cardinals! They lost in another heartbreaker. Oh goodness me, they're 3-8. They've got they've all of their losses have been very close. I do feel a bit sorry for the Cardinals. I mean, I know, yeah, well, they've got themselves into this situation with the Kyler Murray extension and all that kind of stuff, and
Yeah.
they shouldn't have paid him when they paid him, and that's hamstrung their roster construction, or yada yada yada. But I don't know. I feel a bit sorry for them. The Buccaneers have been on a real slide recently, most notably against the Rams last week. That was a beatdown. So I'm is Mayfield out?
Let me have a look quickly.
Baker Mayfield.
I can't really tell, to be honest.
No,
It says he's hopeful to suit up,
I
but
think it was his left shoulder that he injured. So
yeah.
oof. Okay, well, reserve the right to change this. If although you know what, no, either way, I'm taking the Bucks because as plucky as Brissett has been for them at starting quarterback, he just shows enough of his old flaws to keep getting the Cardinals in trouble. The Buccaneers are quite happy to run the ball as well against this Cardinals D that will play a lot of three safety looks and try and get very exotic on the back end. I think the Buccaneers might be quite content on a 2 or 3 game losing streak that they're on at the moment. They'd probably be quite content just to run it. So yeah, I'm going to take the Bucks here.
I'm going to differ on that and take the Cardinals. The Bucks have probably got the worst form in the league right now, to be honest. They're, like you said before, they're on a real slide. Just don't trust them to cover at the moment. So I'm going to
Tough schedule
take
though. They've played some really good teams, the Buccaneers, back to
Yeah,
back.
well, I mean, let's see how they come out of that. See how much it's damaged them. But
Yeah,
yeah, I haven't been too impressed with them.
no, I think it's been a tough schedule. So we'll see. Yeah, I agree with you though. Like if Mayfield plays and they don't beat the Cardinals, then you're asking serious questions.
Hmm.
Because yeah, that would be the wheels very much off there. Um, it really wants us to talk about Atlanta against the New York Jets again for some reason,
Yeah.
which we quite clearly do not want to talk about again. Um, Vikings at Seahawks. Whoa, Nelly. I mean, Wentz has got to be an upgrade over McCarthy at this point. I think McCarthy is. Oh no, he is going to play. Oh no, not expected to play. Yeah, okay, yeah. So McCarthy is out.
Well, they benched him.
No, concussion. But I mean,
Oh,
but I
okay.
mean, to be honest, that that probably. Oh no, they might start Max Brosma. Oh, he's a D3 kid, rookie out of
Um,
Minnesota, I believe.
yeah, he played for the Gophers. Yeah. Um,
I think he was originally D3. Something about that I remember.
okay. Yeah. Um, it is a big spread though. I I always go back to my theory about Seattle at home. I'm just not the biggest fan. I can't take him to cover 11 and a half. I mean, I know they've done quite well. Actually, also leading with the Rams with an 8-3 against the spread this year, the Seahawks. I'm going to take the Vikings. Don't feel great about it, but it's just too big. It's too big a line. I don't think the Vikings have totally given up yet, even though I've been very unimpressed with them.
No, I think I'm a little bit more bullish than you. I'm quite happy to take the Vikings
Okay.
here. I think it's quite a big line, but um, I do think it'll be fascinating the Seahawks sort of heavy personnel offense against Brian Flores' defense. Flores normally likes to play in sub packages and keep two safeties back. I mean, he'd be foolish to do that against the Seahawks. They're running it at the greatest clip of any team in the league this year. So you'd expect him to adjust. So yeah, that'll be an interesting battle. I just think the Vikings defense is quite feisty. Might keep them in it. Quite similar to the Giants last week, keeping it close against the Lions. I just think the Vikings might hang around and cause a bit of disruption in this one.
Yep.
Even with the rookie at quarterback, I mean that could be a disaster to be fair. But
Yeah.
we'll
It's a
see.
very big line.
Yeah, it's a huge line. Yeah, we're not picking them to win the game after all.
No.
Um, all
Ooh.
right, Bills at Steelers. I assume Rudolph is still playing at quarterback for the Steelers, so I will take the Bills. Nice and easy. He looked truly terrible last week against the Bears. Bills defense isn't as good as the Bears defense, so he'll probably have a better day. I'm just not. There's no way I'm taking Josh Allen not to cover 3.5 against this pretty woeful Steelers secondary. So yeah, I'm going to take the Bills here.
Yeah, that's a fair point. Yeah, the Bills like these matchups. It could get pretty ugly for the Steelers here. So I agree. I'm going to take the Bills to cover. They have a real propensity for beating up on average teams, the Bills, and can see that happening here.
Yeah, they play so much man coverage, the Steelers as well, and it's just baffling. They haven't got the personnel for it, and if they play that much man against Josh Allen, he'll just 1-2 and run all day, pick them apart. So yeah, I'm pretty happy to take the Bills there. Feel very good about that one.
Well, we might want to go back a bit. I think we missed Jacksonville, Tennessee in the early slate.
Yeah, see, but it doesn't. I do think sometimes it moves them around because it has it.
Cool.
We've already
Yeah.
done. We've already done Atlanta against the Jets, and they've moved it along the thing. It's frustrating ticker from the Athletic.
Well, at
Uh,
least you got me, Mike. Keep you on your toes.
their ticker hasn't got any ticker. Uh, right, yeah, Jags big favorites against the Titans. I think it's is it you to pick this first? Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's a good weekend for us, Mike. A couple of AFC South derbies always gets us fired up. Uh, we're going to take the Titans here to cover. The Jacks getting out of jail there against the Cardinals, as you mentioned last week. And the Titans' last three games, they've been underdogs. They've covered all of them, really turning around some of their early season woes on the spreads, at least. But they're starting to get competitive in these games. So yeah, I like the Titans to just show a bit of moxie here at home as well, and just too big a line for me. I think that's quite comfy for me.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Titans as well. I didn't get the cover with the Jags against the Cardinals last week, but I think I was vindicated in some of my concerns that I have about the Jags. I just don't think they're a very good football team. Trevor Lawrence played terribly last week. Another team that's locked into quite a middling quarterback contract there. So yeah, I think the Titans can make this close. I think Cam Ward's playing a bit better than those statistics indicate. He hasn't got too much to throw to in the red zone, in fairness to him. So with Calvin Ridley gone, I mean, it's absolutely barren on that offensive roster. So I think he's actually doing quite well. And he
He's
might
got his
keep them in.
buddy from Miami back now, Restrepo.
Oh, is he? Oh, God. Yeah.
Miami's leading receiver all time, to be fair. I don't know why
Yeah.
they weren't playing. Oh,
Well, he
he
did
probably,
run a.
probably ran 4.840 or something.
Oh, Tom, that's funny that you bring. I was literally about to say, I think he ran a 5 second 40.
No.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So that's why he went undrafted. Yeah.
All right.
So
Well,
he's certainly not going to light up the speed gun there, but he might make some little catches over the middle against zone, which is to be fair, that's all you need him to do in the slot there. If
yeah.
you're playing Restrepo, you're not going to expect him to take the top off. Um, right. Well, I'm completely lost now. So did we get all of the early slate?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, we've got the final three, as it were.
Right. Raiders at Chargers.
Cool.
Um, I have the dubious honor of picking this one first. God. Uh,
Chargers are
Chargers.
searching for an identity. I'd say the Raiders are also searching for an identity. Well, it's
Yeah.
gone very wrong all of a sudden for both these teams.
Yeah. I'm going to take the Raiders. Just that Herbert has had a bye week to get together with Harbour, and as you say, maybe trying to figure out what that identity is. I think they would love to get the rookie running back. Oh, I forget his name. I really liked him.
Marion.
Yes, Marion Hampton. I think they'd love to get him back and start pounding the ball. Alas, I don't think he's going to suit up for this one. So I think you just on the Raiders just got beaten by the Browns. I mean, playing a rookie quarterback at that, a fifth round rookie quarterback. They've just fired their offensive coordinator. Um, as you say, they're up there, right up there as one of the worst teams in the NFL. So Chargers at home off the bye. Justin Herbert's still an elite quarterback. I'm going to take the Chargers here.
Yeah, not much more to add there. I think I've made my feeling on the Raiders pretty clear. So yeah, I'm going to side with you on that and take the Chargers to get things done and make the AFC West even tougher for the Chiefs.
That's a bad look for Chip Kelly if the Raiders offense just explodes this week. That's
Yeah. Hmm.
I don't worry. I don't foresee that
I mean,
happening.
surely it can't be possible. They're so bad.
Chargers defense has been playing pretty well this season as well. That's kind of gone under the radar with some of their offensive struggles.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, I don't expect Gino to light them up. Right, so Broncos at the Commanders, as we know, playing Marcus Mariota at quarterback. God, it's the usual thing with the Broncos, though. It just seems like too many points. That I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I think they had a bye last week, but the week before I did mention that interesting stat is that they covered every game they were made underdogs in, and then proceeded to do the same thing against the Chiefs a few weeks ago. But then as soon as the Broncos are favorites in a spread, it just goes horribly wrong. So I'm going to keep with that logic until it fails me. I'm going to take the Commanders for no other reason than that to cover. You said it seems like a lot of points. I think it is too many. Obviously, you've got to make the Broncos favorites. But yeah, they seem to cope better in these situational plays. They find
Situations, the
situational
situational
situations. I
situations.
was thinking of saying that. And I thought, sure, I can't. When they're underdogs. So yeah, I'm going to take the Commanders here.
Yeah, no, well, yeah, obviously I foreshadowed what I'm going to say here a little bit. Yeah, that just seems like too many points. I think the Broncos down the stretch here, they're still going to be a playoff team after this 9-2 start that they've had, but I just think that does I've been saying it for a couple of weeks now. I think that flatters them a little bit.
Mm.
I don't think they're quite as good as that record suggests, and I think Washington might get a bit spicy here. Um, Dan Quinn's back calling the defensive plays, which is quite interesting. I don't know the last time he did that.
Mm.
Well, I guess when he was in Dallas, I suppose, but still interesting. I think the Commanders might keep that close and just it'll be a real fist fight as it normally is with the Broncos. No idea
Yeah.
why that was selected for Monday Night Football. That is a stinker. Um, right, Sunday night. Sorry, not Monday night. I always get
Yeah.
that wrong because of the
Most of
time
them are
difference.
stinkers, unfortunately.
Um, and well, here we go. Although, to be fair, 404. Page is not found. My
Oh,
God,
wow. Okay.
we got a 404.
Well, I got to tell you, it's a 7.5 point spread here in favor of the Patriots. You're on it.
Here we go. It's working now. The Patriots. Obviously, that classic Super Bowl.
Mm.
Brady back in the day. The undefeated Patriots going down to the Giants. Is Dart back for this?
Yeah, I think he's going to play. That was everything I've heard. He's going to play.
All right, I'm going to take the Giants then. I don't see any need to get off this bandwagon. They've beaten the Eagles once this season. I was impressed with them then. Um, Impressed enough last week to take them to cover against a good Lions team, which they duly did. Probably should have won that game with some Jameis Winston heroics.
Yeah.
Brilliant play by him, catching a touchdown pass. That was my play of the year so far, I think. So yeah, I'm gonna ride this and see where this Giants defense can take me.
Yeah, I mean, same last week. The Patriots didn't cover against the Bengals, so they're not exactly losing momentum, but it's still quite tough to take them here. It's 7.5 points over a touchdown. So yeah, I like the line there. I think it works for me as well. Take the Giants. We've had about five or six agreements to end the spreads, Mike, but
I think we had
we
four
are.
or five. I think we only differed on about three. So
I do try. We've got better, I have to say, as the year's gone on. So I'm not exactly too worried. I think some of these, you just have to take the underdogs because there's some of these are just too big a lines.
yeah, yeah. I think with this one as well, I think Dart has played better than expected, and
Yeah.
with Dable not calling the plays anymore, hopefully they just restrict the quarterback run game to sort of when they need it, as opposed to 3 or 4 times a series. Yeah, keep them in that one. Should be good.
Yeah, nice. Well, that's a full 16 game slate we've got through there. Might pat ourselves on the back. We'll see how we did and see if we can get close to that magical 50% number.
Nice one. Right. Well, I'm on my travel, so I'll see literally none of those games until the Monday night one, which alas is as I say is not sensational. But yeah, well, enjoy the games, and until I next speak to you, go well.
Yeah, well, go well. You too.